Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. Good morning. This is Tasha M. Dyer, the Trade Whisperer, creator of the BYOB Cash Out Strategy. Good morning, good morning, good morning. So, ladies and gentlemen, as you log in this morning, go ahead and drop it in the chat. Let me know where you're calling in from, along with those affirmations. Definitely want to make sure that you drop it in the chat, drop those affirmations in the chat. Let's get our mind right here. Look, oh my goodness, Thursday snuck right up on us, right? It snuck up on us, didn't it? But I'm excited because you guys have been having an excited time cashing out in the market, making money. You know, we've had a very exciting week. I just want you guys to know that I'm extremely excited. I'm proud of you guys because even without a 9 a.m. call, you guys have still gotten in there. You dove in there. You're definitely taking advantage and putting you and your family on the other side of money. So always salute, salute, salute. Give yourself a hand of applause because you are BYOB Master Traders. So good morning, good morning, good morning. All right, guys. And then, of course, what you want to be able to do is you want to go share our stream. You want to make sure that you're liking the Facebook page, right? The BYOB Worldwide, right? BYOB Worldwide Facebook page. And you want to make sure you go share the stream. 2 million strong, 2 million strong, 2 million strong is what we are, 2 million strong. So don't say we will be. I want you to start affirming, right? It's all about those affirmations. So no, we will. It's not a we will be. I need you to speak it as if it already exists. I want you to speak it as if it's manifested already. 2 million strong. We are 2 million strong, 2 million strong, 2 million strong, right? You are, I am a change agent. I am. See, the same way you could have gotten enrolled today, this could be your first call, but yet here you are saying, I am a BYOB master trader anointed for wealth. So guess what? You might not have even done the academy. However, right? However, we want to make sure you know that you're walking in that excellence and you are affirming. So yes, 2 million strong, 2 million strong, 2 million strong is what we are, right? What we are. We're going to speak it and we're going to believe it. And it's just that simple. All right. So let me see, who do we have on the line? I don't care where you're calling in from. LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube. Drop it in the chat. There's a chat associated with where you are. Drop it in the chat and let me know where you're calling in from. All right, I see Jacksonville. Good morning. Good morning, Milwaukee. SX UK. Good morning. Fort Mitchell, Alabama. Good morning. Good morning, London. Good morning, Minnesota. Good morning, Cleveland. Good morning, Columbus. Good morning, Virginia. Toledo, good morning. Good morning, London. Good morning, Cleveland. Good morning, London. Good morning, Stone Mountain, Georgia. Good morning, Chattanooga. Good morning, Jacksonville. Kent, UK, good morning. Okay, United Kingdom, we're going to do the call in the UK this morning. Good morning, Cleveland. All right, guys, keep dropping it in the chat. Let me know where you're calling in from. All right, now let's get those affirmations together as I get my screen shared together. That's what I'm going to do. I am an educated BYOB master trader anointed for wealth. I am the signal. All my trades in and profit. I am 777. All right. I am an educated BYOB master trader anointed for wealth. I am the signal. All my trades in and profit. I am 777. Good morning. Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. Good morning. I see ya. All right. So let's see. Now, if this is your, hey, good morning, Trust Your Trade Thursday. That's what it is. Good morning, Cleveland. Come on, Indiana. Good morning. Come on. Okay, the Pip Magnet. Okay, Pip Magnet. Good morning, Milwaukee. Good morning. So, all right, everyone. All right, so let's see. Who do we have? Good morning, Milwaukee. See, y'all waking up late, getting on the car late, dropping out from it. I'm just messing with y'all. All right, so if this is your first time here with us this morning, let me get a 111 in the chat. If you are still learning how to cash out, let me get a 222. right? Let me get a 222. If you have cashed out, right? If you cashed out, let me get a 777. And if you are compounding, let me get an 888. All right. Now, what I want to know is I asked some of you all, have you pushed the button, right? I asked some of you guys, did you push the button? Now, guys, did you push the button? Did you push the button? The ones that said we were going to do it for the first time. If you push the button for the first time this week, if you push the button for the first time, that simply means that, you know what? I made a decision that I'm gonna attempt to take a trade. Did you push the button for the first time? Did you push the button for the first time? Let me just yes, no, you can give me a 555, right? Did you push the button for the first time? I know we had some people here that hadn't pushed the button. I just want to know if you pushed the button for the first time. So you still didn't push the button. You still didn't push the button this week. I'm challenging you guys to push the button. I'm challenging you guys. So just to kind of help you guys understand as we dive in what we're doing in the month of December, we have a modified call schedule. All right. It's a modified, well, let's just call it our holiday schedule. All right. Let's just call it our holiday schedule. And so what you're seeing is typically we have calls on Monday through Thursday at 5 a.m. and 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then, of course, we'll have our Tuesday and Thursday nights. Haha, today's Thursday, Trust Your Trade Thursday. And those calls will be at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And obviously, that's followed by a talk with the finance doctor. So now, we're going to do this through the 17th. And then we are currently evaluating what calls will keep going, right? Obviously, we won't be doing a morning call. Well, I'm letting you know that now. But right now, this month of December, we're going to be highly focused on your education. And so you'll notice that even on this call this morning, I'm really going to be focused in on walking you through a trade, like walking you through the complete analyzation, walking you through the complete understanding. And I don't know if we'll keep doing that after the new year or what, because I've actually seen a lot more 777s. I've seen quite a bit more of you all grasping some understanding, right? And so it just kind of changes the narrative, because then you go cash out all day. So it really speaks to the premises of who we are as an educated trader, as a profitable trader. So we walk you through, help you understand it. We educate you in the evenings, we implement it in the mornings, show you how to implement it, and then we walk through. Like, then you actually are going, you're empowered, and you can go out and you can cash out on your own. And so this morning is going to be no different. It's really going to be no different. And so we just want to keep empowering you. That's what we want to do. And so you notice here, today is Thursday. And in doing so, what we always check for is the news, okay? Always, always, always. No, it's a quiet day. It's not a lot going on. I know yesterday we talked about the CAD news. Obviously, you can see USD CAD we didn't get, it was a statement, it was a rate, nothing changed, right? It was just the same, the forecast, the previous and the actual, nothing changed, and that's gonna happen. So what does that mean? I'm quite sure it wasn't that liquidity push that they were looking for, right? That's pretty much what that means. And so now as I'm seeing, as I'm looking at this, all right, as we're looking at this, you're beginning to see that the same thing. And what's tomorrow, right? Because we don't have a call tomorrow. So what you're seeing is like there's obviously quite a bit of activity, but it's not like quote unquote red folders. We do have some tomorrow, so I do want you to kind of pay attention to that, but it's quite a bit of activity, but most of them are not red folders. So, but that's still good for, liquidity push kind of thing, right? Just to kind of help you, right? Good morning, California. Good morning. Now just want to highlight that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk you through the BYOB cash out, but hopefully this is still up. Yay, it is. All right, and it is. And so what I want you to notice is, as we dig down and we look at it, we saw quite a bit of CAD yesterday, right? And I'm showing you why we bring this back to the vibrato. So I'm going to walk you through the cash out strategy. And of course, for those of you all who are 222 still learning, for those of you all who have never been on this call before, I'm going to walk you through the strategy. But I want you to understand as you begin to look, like some of these have actually fallen off, right? That the ones we were looking at yesterday, there is, which one is it? This one is still on there, but a lot of the ones, and if they haven't fallen off, look at how much further down they are as far as the currencies. This is why we don't mark up over here. Now, that's not the only reason. It's just one of the reasons, because they will fall off, and they'll go away. It's like, oh, bye-bye, So, or they'll just keep pushing down until they play out, if they started playing out. So for example, like we were just looking at that Euro CAD, I lost them, here he is. So my Euro CAD was there, and you can see it kind of played out, but look how far down he is now, okay? And that's because we have new patterns that the market is beginning to identify. So that's why you always see me write it down. I have my little scratch papers at my computer desk. I write it down at the end of the week. I throw them away. I don't need to keep them, but I have my little notes, right? And so this is, what it, you write them down. And so, and I put the little date on them, right? And I do it for training purposes and things like that. But just to really kind of help you guys understand the big picture, right? That's what I'm trying to do, is I want to make sure that you're understanding, like I say, the big picture and what we're doing. So now, now, let me see. All right, now let's go over here and let's dive in, okay? So where we come get some from. I want a clean chart. I like starting with clean charts. And I am gonna do, oh Lordy, it's gonna take it away. Now see, I came here and refreshed. Didn't it? You know what? I was talking to somebody yesterday, and it was just like, oh, my computer froze right when I was doing a session. Oh, my computer froze, And it was funny because it happened. I was like, that always does that. It picks the perfect time in the middle of you trying to do something for your computer to reset, for your computer to want to, your computer to want to dive in. What in the world? Your computer to want to dive in and make an update and change. So we're going to pray it don't mess up our other markups. Now I'm going to give you a little trick when this happens. You see, I have multiple tabs open. If you log in right away, if you go ahead and log in, then it shouldn't really bother it, right? It shouldn't really bother it, the other ones, but sometimes it can, but you got to give it a second to cycle through. Now, sometimes it doesn't always work, but I'm just trying to let you know, because I know you guys be like, my markups, I was looking at these charts. I know, me too, right? And so just kind of let it sit there for just a moment, all right? So we know we lost those markups, right? We already lost those. So as far as this GBP AUD, but that's okay, because we were looking at this yesterday, all right? And like I promise, I'm gonna walk you through the strategy, but you see we have a trigger here, right? Not that one. It was, how far down did it go? That one's down further. So right here, we just got a trigger about almost 30 minutes ago, right? We got a trigger for a buy, and we had a trigger on a harmonic scanner. So we will analyze this one, okay? We will analyze this one. Yeah, I know. It's like, wait, what are you doing? So you'd be like, what are you doing? So yeah, it doesn't always work. Let me be clear. I don't want you to be like, she said, it works. It works, I'll say 75% of the time. It works 75% of the time. All right, so this is the area that we were looking at yesterday. All right, GBP AUD. And so we noticed that, right, that this actually is back up to here, but it was like it was selling, everything was downward. Right, everything was downward. You guys were, okay, you got to imagine the markups from yesterday, okay, this big picture. So it works after you told us that if we hurry up, you got to hurry up and log in and don't click to the other tabs. Like, you can't be on the other tabs, because if you go to the other tabs, they'll try to do it. So now you guys were looking at, because we had reached this point and then we were talking about you dipping for pips. So did this drop down below? That's the psych level we talked about, but I think we were somewhere up in this area, and I kind of gave you that psych level. So it was somewhere up in here. Not going to spend too much time on, because it's really not that important. What I want you to understand is that we were oversold. And there was a question yesterday about being able to take a trade, or because it was still selling. This is one of the ones somebody was looking at. Don't have our markups, but you always want to pay attention. And so what we pointed out yesterday, right, is the fact that as we look at this, okay, what we pointed out yesterday is the fact that this was, look at how it's wicking down, right? And obviously everything was still in a sale yesterday, it was still in a sale. So let's see here. This is 10 o'clock, right? On that 4 hour, we got a brand new 4 hour candle. So just to kind of help you out. So yesterday morning would have been on the 8th at 10 o'clock. So we kind of go back a little bit and we were up here. So somewhere in this one, right? So we were in here. We were in this one. And so it did drop down some. So I want you guys to understand. So it dropped down some more. And that's okay. Because we showed you, this was identified, we were looking at it, but somebody was looking and it was oversold. And I was like, you're going to have to watch it. I'm trying to remember exactly the conversation we had, but I was just like, because we talked about this consolidation over here when you look left, and that, as far as, because this is that psych level right here. All right, let's put this psych level. I'm gonna walk you through the strategy. I promise. I don't want y'all being like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about right now? I'm just doing a quick recap because we had people on here asking about this currency, this trade. So I know we had our psych level, right? And you could see the rejection. We talked about rejection around the psych level, all right, in consolidation. This needed to break through there. Right, we talked about it having a breakthrough there. We talked about that. But I know part of the question was, I think part of the question was, because everything was in alignment, still pointing down for a sale. However, we were oversold in every aspect, right? We were oversold. And what I said was I wouldn't bother it. And I wouldn't buy something to that effect, but I wouldn't bother it because if you are having to question, if you are having to understand it, if you're not understanding how the time frames flow together, then you build that skill set, then you bother, right? You build that skill set because this is an oversold trade. It was oversold. It was oversold. It's no way to sugarcoat that. It was oversold. And you don't know how far it's gonna go from being oversold, right? Do you guys understand what I'm saying? Now, for my new people, give me 1 second. I'm coming back to you. But for those of you all who were here yesterday, whereas asking about this trade, who looked at this trade, do you understand how it was oversold and how you have to, if you're still building that skill set, these are the trades you don't take. If it's not necessarily gambling, I wouldn't call it gambling. I would call it if you are not understanding the skill set, then you're gambling, right? If you're not understanding the skill set, then yes, you're gambling. But if you're understanding the skill set, right? If you can, then you're analyzing and it's within your risk reward management, right? And so all of this was oversold. Look at, right, our stochastic has started its flat line because I remember that being one of the questions. On the higher time frame, the stochastic has started its flat line, right? And you can see how it pulled, right? And so this came into a correction and then it started, right? So it's not gonna always play out like this. This one happened to play out. Hot mic. All right. This one happened to play out. You guys see? So now let's talk about the strategy. Let's talk about that. I just wanted you guys to see. Now let's start like we just now starting the call, right? So what we're looking for with the BYOB cash out strategy, okay? What we're looking for with the BYOB cash out strategy is we're looking for 3 simple indicators, all right? 3 simple indicators, just 3 of them. That's all you need, 3 indicators. Now, that's why you saw when the thing reset and I had to put it on there. You heard me say, whoo, we don't need all that. I do not like a busy chart. I tell you what, I don't like it. I don't like it. So what you're looking for, right, is what I'm needing is I want the three simple indicators. I need that blue line cross over the red and an upward momentum. I need my green candles, red candles. I need my stochastics on the crossover and cross up or crossover and cross down. And I need my dots, right? I need my PSAR. All right. I need my dots. I need my PSAR. And so in looking at this, what we're looking for, now notice I'm on a 15-minute chart. All right. You notice I'm on a 15-minute chart. So here on a 15-minute chart, now this is price action with a twist. I'm gonna tell you that now. So my higher time frames obviously give me market direction. My mid time frames is analyzation. My lower time frames is where I enter. All right. Now, here we go. That blue line cross over the red and an upward momentum, right? I'm looking for that to transpire around the 20. All right. So now what we're looking at is a historical trade. You see this thing still attempting to move. Okay. So, but what we're looking at is a historical trade. I'm always going to walk you through a historical trade so you can see it, but understand that when you go to start analyzing it, it's not going to look as perfect as this, right? It's just not, because it hasn't played out yet. So when we look at a historical trade, it's going to be really perfect. It's really pretty. You know, you can see it really clearly, but then you come over here and you're like, well, wait a minute, look at my stochastic at the 80, right? So I get it. So blue line cross over the red, around the 20 and an upward momentum. Then I'm looking for these other two indicators, okay? I'm looking for these other two. And what that is I'm looking for that green candle because I'm looking for a buy. I need that green candle with a flat bottom, and I need my dot, my PSAR, right? My PSAR flipped to the bottom. That's what I need right there. So now I have those three indicators in alignment. So I'm gonna drop an arrow right here so you guys can see it. Change my colors because my colors are, I don't know why the default is dark. So blue line cross over the red and an upward momentum, green candle, flat bottom, PSAR flip. Now let me zoom in so you can see. These two are lagging, which means it doesn't matter which one comes first. Most of the time you will see the candle getting flat, most of the time, not all of the time. Here's an indication that that's not what happened. My PSAR happened first. So in this case, I got a PSAR flip first. But guess what? That doesn't mean I can take the trade because I need my flat candle. I have to have that flat bottom candle. So this is leading, these are lagging. So we always want to default. I know our eyes jump here. We always need to default to our stochastic first, okay? This is my leading. If, for example, you know, because sometimes you'll have it, like you see how it kind of flows, like this is in a buy, this is in a sell, this is in a buy, right? So this is in a buy, you know, because sometimes you will have things, but like, for example, here we are, let's say if this was it, and you see how this is in a sell, but if I come down, this is in a buy, my stochastic is my leading indicator. I know that's just a correction. I know that it's hard, it's a little hard-headed right now, and we're not paying it no attention. Quit being hard-headed. So get back in alignment, and it did. My stochastic has more authority. My stochastic has more authority, okay? So now we understand this. Now also we know we trigger for a buy, so we just trigger for a buy again. All right, so I'm gonna show you that because some of you guys are already trading this. I know. So let's put this trigger price on here so we can do because I don't want us to miss a trade if we got a trade opportunity. So this happened on my 5-minute. And it's typically always called in a correction. So you might not see it here, but I might have to drop down to see it. You see where it's having a hard time pushing through? That's pretty much a correction. It's just, see, my 1 minute, I got all the way to the 1 minute to see all the activity. But what you're seeing, all that activity in that 1 minute, you don't see it here. So that's why it's having a hard time to push through. So you're just waiting on all of that to finish before you could take that trade. So now we're here on the 15. So we already analyzed our historical and looking at our live. Yes, I'm in a correction. I'm in a corrective state. I came out of a correction and now I'm continuing. So we came all the way up. Now, if you're one-on-one, you're learning for the first time, you're in your very beginning stages, you by yourself are not focused on these. You by yourself are here, not here, okay? Because you have to understand this to be able to do this, okay? So notice that we're in that upward momentum. Come here to my hour where my confluence is. Beautiful. Beautiful all the way around. So now let's talk about this for my historical. All right. Let's talk about, look, see there goes 777. let's talk about my historical, right? So looking at my historical trade, when you see this, my stochastic is pulled up. I see some correction and some pullback in this candle. Okay, I do. I see that. You see how they were nice and red, and you notice that this has pullback on it. Also, notice I'm sitting on a psych level. All of these things that's giving me indication with GBP. Now, if you're a brand new 222, ignore what I'm saying. If you're a little bit more advanced in your skill set, let's talk about it. So if with GBP, because of the amount of liquidity that it has in the market, for my confluence, I can drop down to my 30. I can only let me be very, very, very clear. I can only drop down to my 30 if, and this is why I say, listen to your skill set development, if the market's giving me indication that I can. Being that my stochastic is already crossed over and began to curve up, being that my candle is like, you can see that there's significant pullback. And honestly, this might have been green because all we know is it closed red. But for that entire hour, for 59 minutes, it might have been green. That's the type of candle that this is. And then, what you're seeing is we're tapping on that cycle level. So it's giving me indication. So let's confirm on our 30. When I confirm on my 30, that's a beautiful stochastic. And look at my candle, right? Green candle, beautiful stochastic. All right. So it's just beautiful all the way around. And so now we know we could have taken that trade. When I drop down to my 5, okay, when I drop down to my 5, it needs to still be. Now, remember, still be buying, right? Keep still be. Not starting to, not historically did, still be. So what do you typically notice when you do that? Okay, let's talk about that for a moment. You notice here, my stochastic, blue line cross over the red, where most of our triggers happen. Blue line cross over the red and an upward momentum. You notice I have a green candle with a flat bottom and I have a PSR flip. Why is this important on my lower time frame? Well, it's important on my lower time frame that I see that it's already manifested because it happens first. This is where the bulk of my activity takes place. So it happens first there. So you notice that the activity has already began. And most of the time when you come down here, what you're going to begin to see, like you'll see like it already had a correction breaking through that line. And then look, we also have an alignment. We have the stochastic rising, we have the flat bottom, and we have the PSR flip. Those are really good confirmations, okay? Because there's more activity there. So obviously I want it there. So if you kind of think about it, my lower time frame is like it's feeding into my higher. So obviously on my hour, I'm not looking for that to have been the case. I'm not looking for a PSR flip. I'm not looking for a flat bottom. All right. I need you guys to be with me. I'm not looking for that. On my lower time frame, I kind of want it because what's happening is even if I got here where I didn't have everything in alignment, you're going to get some pullback, right? You're going to receive pullback. If you're doing HFX, okay, and those things, you kind of want those flat because the flat bottom indicates a push through a support and resistance line. A flat bottom indicates a push through. Look at this. So when I'm here, I can get smaller and we can get to all the little minor support and resistance lines if you really, really want to, if you want to be technical. But you notice that I'm not going to do that for the sake of time. We'll train tonight a little bit tonight. Now, what you're seeing is you can see when this got flat, it's pushing. So you notice that this one is flat and it began to push. We got some pullback. So if I put this on top of this one where we had that pullback, let's drop down to where you see all the activity, right? Let's drop down to where you see all the activity. So that wick, do you see that wick is red on the lower time frames, that wick? So now I'm giving you the why behind the what. I'm giving you the psychology behind the flat bottom. So do you see all that pullback that takes place? That's that wick. So this is all the activity. So I want my flat bottom. So you can see now when I get my flat bottom, it's actually pushing through that support and resistance line. That makes sense? So my HFX traders, you definitely, obviously y'all working on the lower time frames, but you see? Awesome. So now when you're coming over here, why is that important? Here's my live trade. So you notice that we triggered on the 15 and we triggered on the 5 for a buy. So as I'm beginning to look, we already know that my flat bottom all the way up, nice and smooth. That was beautiful momentum, right? Beautiful momentum, especially on my lower time frame. We get here and we have some rejection. So here I have it. I have a flat bottom candle that's pushing up. I have an hour. All of them are not going to be that perfect historical trade that we talk about. Now, that's not most of them. So a lot of times you're looking at continuation trades. You're looking at trades that, you got to figure out that's already started. When do I get into this trade, right? So we don't just jump in a trade. We don't do that. So now we know we're sitting at a support and resistance line. We want to get in a trade, but we don't get in it now? And so when I drop down, if I have all of this, look at my stochastic in this, I know I'm not getting in it now. So I don't do it now. I have to wait. And if I drop, you can kind of start seeing what it's doing. It's trying to push through there. So that's why that alignment on my lower time frame is kind of important. So you start seeing, right? You definitely can start seeing. Questions, comments, testimonies. I don't need it on the higher, but the lower says the lower it needs to still be, right? All right, so let me see here. Let's drop this on here. I can see it. All right, so let's take these. Let's drop these on here. These take profits. And we might have time to kind of look at the other thing. Maybe. All right, so that's that take profit one that we've already hit. We already hit that one. I'm like, where'd it go? Let me get on the hour. Maybe. Okay, so what 87163 is this one we put on here. 85919. So we put this one on here. So no, EuroCAD is the one that hit the first take profit out of the two. We did it. We spent on that CAD quite a bit yesterday. That's what it was. I'm like, yeah, that's not the first take profit. Like, what in the what? As my daughter would say, what in the what? All right, so now, obviously, I love it. So obviously, now you see that would be my take profit 1, take profit 2, take profit 3. That obviously to me is goal 1, goal 2, and goal 3. That's what it is. So when you come here and you see that blue line crossing over the red and that upward momentum, right? You see that green candle, okay? You see that green candle? See that momentum? Okay, so it's a really good one. I'm curious. Let me see how. I'm just curious. I said I wasn't gonna get that deep this morning. Oh, I told y'all to watch Bitcoin. I told y'all that yesterday. And then it triggered. Look what happened. So no, it's not on there. I'm curious if it triggered because sometimes it will. All right, so look, see this markup was still here. You see, we did have it. It's still there. And look, so this is EuroCAD that we did. So let me find out where we were. All right, this is where we were. All right, so it's pulling back up. So let me do this. I'll do this. So this is our markup from yesterday. We put the pivot points on here, that psych level, right? We identified all of that. So now you can see it from yesterday's perspective, right? Because yesterday we talked about the pivot points with it, but it still came out of it, which is cool. It's okay. We talked about the zones it typically stays in, and it's within there. We just oversold a little bit because now you can see our pivot points is that S2, and it got out of balance a little bit, It got out of balance a little bit. So we had, what does that mean? Some fundamental activity pushed it down. So it's some fundamentals, because it's going to take something strong to go through a cycle level, right? It is. All right. Questions, comments, testimonies. That's the one from yesterday. So we said same markup. I think we reenacted it pretty well. I think we did. Let's salute us. We did a really good reenactment. I think we did. So, but as you can see, that's the markup. So you just gotta wait on it. Wait on it, wait on it, wait on it. Might have a little pullback or what have you, might have a little correction you gotta live through, but wait on it, wait on it, wait on it. All right, EuroCAD, and we'll go over there to that BTC as well. EuroCAD, same markup. You see how my markups got saved? It's saved. So because I hurry up and put my password and stuff in, I told you 75% of the time that works. Ta-da, it worked. So now, and that's my statistics based on my personal experience, okay? Based on my personal experience. I don't know about yours, so I don't need anybody saying, well, that's not what it did for me. I'm sorry, I can't. I'm not the programmer. All right, that's not my field. So here we are with EuroCAD, okay? And we see our markups. Take profit 1, take profit 2, take profit 3. Goal 1, goal 2, goal 3. What you can see is we hit take profit 1. And then once we hit it, we consolidate it quite a bit. So what does it say? What does this say? What it says is the market did not pull back. So it's still EuroCAD week, right? So CAD had the same report. It had the same information. So it wasn't strong enough to pull it down. Okay, it wasn't strong enough. And then of course, Euro, for whatever reason, is stronger. And, we didn't look it up. So that's why I said for whatever reason. And so as you're looking at it, okay, what you're seeing is this hit is tapping. It's hitting on that cycle. It's not a cycle level. It's hitting on that support and resistance line. So it's hitting there. And as I'm rejected, so it hasn't pulled through, but it hasn't. You remember how I always tell you guys, you never know how far it's going to correct. Like you never know how much of a correction you're going to have. You don't know how much of a correction you will get. Right? Make sense? Like sometimes it's like you don't know. I cannot help you with that. Like I can't help you understand how much is going to correct. Well, this one didn't correct much at all. So this is why I tell you guys, if you're going to do a counter trend trade, then you want to make sure you understand what's going on, right? You have to understand what the market's doing, because I'm quite sure if I drop down, we had it, look, blue line cross over the red candle flat top, PSR flip to the top. You have it. It's all right here, right? Go up here to my hour. When I come to my hour, I have my confluence. When I come down to my 5 minute, we have it. Look, you see, it's still, that whole still thing, still playing out, still. So look, my stochastic has curved back down. I have a red candle. I even have a flat bottom. It came here, retested, and kept going. So you have that. Now, how many pips was this, right? And so this is where, right, 26. So you got your 10. So, but sometimes if you guys have a high pip reaction time, that's why I tell you guys don't trade the counter trend. Because even at 26 pips, I've seen people say they didn't hit that take profit. I've seen it. That means you are slow on the draw. You're not quick on the draw, you're slow on the draw. That means if we were in a Western movement, you would lose. But that doesn't mean you're going to lose in Forex. That doesn't mean you're going to lose on the charts, right? Because you need, as long as you know that, then you could position yourself, right? So for some people that's quick on the draw, that's why, like, you see them winning with just the basics, right? You see them winning with the basics, because here we are in some significant rejection, right? Here you are with some significant rejection. And yet you took that rejection. Basically, you took a rejection trade. You don't know you're taking a rejection trade if you can't analyze the higher time frame of the market, but you took a rejection trade, and it's okay to take a rejection trade. Okay. So, but I'm saying it, but you need to know what you're doing. Educated. I can't emphasize educated trader enough. So yes, you got your 10 pips. You didn't even know we were consolidated. If you just pull this chart up, did you know you were consolidated on the higher time frame? Did you know? Could you see all of that? Exactly. You couldn't. Now, but what I'm getting at is don't push the issue. Like some of you guys, well, I'm gonna get more than 10 pips. I'm going for the gusto. Like, and then you mad. Who you mad with? Who you mad with? So I just want you guys to understand, right? I just really want you guys to understand. So as you can see, it pulled back. You got some of that rejection trade, and And now look, it's trying to push back. So it's knocking, it's saying, you're going to let me in. It didn't even go away. It's just been standing at the door the whole time. The entire time you're standing at the door. I wanted to this one play out. Let's see. Just for the sake of being forsaken, right? Let's see. Is that even a word? So this one you had less possibility to grasp it. And look, I think that's a wick. If that's a wick, then you definitely, let's say, yep, you didn't get it if that's a wick, because you would have started here. So let's talk about it. So here, right, that hour. Now what happened? Now, remember that GBP AUD, the flat line we were talking about? Remember how it was flat line yesterday? Right now, obviously this one is overbought. So, but we get excited about it, but it's not that, it's flat line. It's a flat line. So GBP AUD worked out, this one would not have. So you come over here, right? Now, obviously I'm in a sale on this one, but I'm flatlined. So you want that stochastic to be giving you something. It depends on where your stop loss is. Let me say that if it would have worked out, because you would have caught it when we just evaluated this one. But if you'd have been in here, you know, you see that flat line? That's why I say you got to be a little bit more skilled. So if you're brand new, still trying to flip, then you don't take that trade. You want to show some momentum. That makes sense. Am I explaining it where it's making sense to you guys? Right? So because this would have pulled back. Now look, your stop loss goes above the PSAR. So if my stop loss goes above the PSAR, knowing that I would not have gotten 10 pips right here, I'd have got caught in some pullback, I'd have got stopped out. And then it would have came down and took profit, right? That's the way the cookie crumbles. So it's like, come up here, you want to pay attention. When I do this is why I'm always talking about our trade consolidation. And then when you look, right, when you look, you can see this was flatline. So that's indication of something. So if you don't see where it's got some momentum, you see some flatline, you want to dig a little bit deeper. Because I personally wouldn't have been in this. You know, even though we wouldn't have seen this part right here would have stopped me from taking a trade. Questions, comments, testimonies? None? Y'all good? All righty then. Let's go over here to some cryptocurrency. All right. So here we are with Bitcoin. So Bitcoin bounced off of here. This is where we are. We just saw that there was harmonic scatter for a buy. Now you see this nice, beautiful trend line. Bitcoin is so disrespectful. Cryptocurrency can be so disrespectful. That's because it moves like that. Now I love it. So, thank you. But it can be so disrespectful. It can. You know, but you gotta learn, you gotta love it. You have to love it because it pays really, really well. So now, y'all funny. All right, so what we saw is we saw BTC. I'm gonna write this down on the bounce back. Okay. So we saw BTC. Now, did you guys learn yesterday why we're not worried about CHF? Right? CHF have to be in complete alignment for me to get those 5 pips, you know? So here we go, BTC, it triggered for a buy. Let's put that on there. All right, so it triggered for a buy. All right, so put this on here. .75, here we go. Put that on there. This is where we trigger for a buy. All right. And you can see a little mini trend, right? Now, this was just a surge. It surges. Technically, that's a trend. But you can see the little trend right here. There's always structure inside of structure. I'm on the hour. Let me go to the 4 hour. You kind of see it a little bit clear. Not that I need you to see anything a little bit clear, but just so you can see it a little bit clear, you can kind of see if I don't do the wicks, if I do the bodies, like either way, I don't need you guys getting hung up on where you put it, because technically I could have, oh, that's not it. Technically, I could have 1-2 pulled it through right here. And you would see would have been on the top of the trend. So I don't need you getting all caught up with, well, my trend line, you know, everybody's not gonna look the same. You just want to, it's gonna help you understand what the market's doing. So you can see right through here, right, where that trigger price happened, it was looking for Bitcoin to break this, but it didn't break it yet. But when you're looking at the big picture, like you can kind of see what we are as far as the grand scheme of things, okay? And I will have an expectation for this to be breaking soon, to be coming back up soon. Let this finish playing out, right? You do want to let this, you see that look at my stochastic on my 4-hour. It's not pulling the candle with it. It's pulling hard. Look at that blue line. Look at the separation there. But it's not pulling the candle with it. The candle's not going with it. And so, you know, I would just kind of wait it out and see. Like I'm oversold here. I can drop some pivots on here. The one thing about Bitcoin is you just have to wait. With cryptocurrency, oops, wrong ones. You just have to wait. You do. You just have to wait. It's sometimes it's like it take a nice little break, and then it jump back in, and then it's like let's go, right? And you be like, wait a minute, I wasn't ready, you know, like, but in Bitcoin be like, let's go. And that's how, you know, you just got to be ready. And don't spaz out if you don't get the let's go. You know, it might not be to the weekend when this thing really finishes aligning to pull back up. And that's the one thing about crypto, though. I will tell you that. Just like the indices, right? One thing you do know is they get out of, they do their little pullbacks, the market reset, right? The price fluctuates significantly. But what we do know is we're going to keep rising. I mean, it's just that win and stuff like that, because you just gotta buckle up. Because if I come here, just to kind of show you, let me close my pivots off. I mean, look where Bitcoin was at last year. All right, so here we are in 21. You see, look, it's like 22, not yet. Give me a minute. So, right, so if I come back down here to December of 20, it was like not even $20,000. So, you know, with everything that's been transpired in the world, you know, look, it's here. And so it was not even $20,000. And so now you like, oh, well, Bitcoin dropped to 50, and you could profit either way. You're gonna profit either way. We ride the wave. You're not physically buying or selling anything. What you're doing is you are profiting on movement. You are analyzing and determining the movement, and you are getting paid off of the movement, the exchanges, and everything else that's taking place, right? You're getting paid on the movement. Because there's always some transaction fees, there's always things that's taking place in this movement. And so you getting paid off the movement of you being able to analyze what people out there in the world are doing. Any questions, comments, or testimonies? Any, as we get ready to close out. Was this beneficial this morning? Was it helpful? Because y'all know I have to slow me down. So that's why I say it's a possibility based on, you see what happened? You see why you gotta wait it out? So even if you look at this, so we got it's beautiful. Blue line crossed over the red and downward momentum. I got a red candle. I even have a PSR flip. I check my confluence. Look at my confluence. I do not have confluence. Cough, cough, hint, hint. I do not have confluence. Do not take the trade. All right. Do not. Now you're about to get, in about 10 minutes, you'll get some more candles. But you don't do it. I don't care how pretty. Y'all look at that, get so excited. Oh my gosh, look at this. It's yeah. Okay, I don't have confluence. And that one does not give me any indication that I could drop down. Not even a little bit, all right? So with that, I love each and every last one of you all. I will definitely see you all this evening. You know, we'll probably slow it down just a little bit more for training purposes. You know, not going to introduce new material right now. What we want to do is really just hone in on you developing that skill set so you can push that button. right? So you can push that button and you can be the master of your craft, be the master of your fate. So we can, hey, we coming in hard next year. We're coming in hard. Understand? What we say next year has nothing to do with a New Year's resolution. Absolutely nothing to do with a New Year's resolution. Has everything to do with, it's just time for our next 6-month cycle to start. That's what it is. It's just time for our next 6-month cycle to start. All right. No, 9 a.m. I do not believe in New Year's resolutions. To me, that's the worst thing that you can do to yourself. I'm like an advocate of self-development and personal development and setting goals. You set a goal and you get to work. New Year's resolutions is so false. Everybody does it and nothing changes for anybody. So I just want to challenge your mindset this morning. If I don't do anything else, let me challenge your thought process and your mindset. And I need all of you all to make a shift. Throw that list away. Or actually don't throw it away because it's something you want in life, right? So just erase New Year's resolutions and put goals on top of it. Erase New Year's resolutions off the top of that list because I know some of y'all already made it. Erase it and put goals on top. All right? Put goals and give yourself some deadlines and go get it. Right? Go get it. Stop making excuses and go get it. On January the 1st, yeah, right. You're going to sleep in. All right. Miss Reed.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much for all the clarity that we've received this morning, as usual, on this prophet call. Let's pray. Great God, our Heavenly Father, we say yes. Yes to your will, yes to your way, and yes to your word. Your presence in our midst is so appreciated. And you said if we walk upright before you, no good thing will you withhold from us. You also told us, God, that if we keep our minds stayed on you, you will keep us in perfect peace. So we praise you for perfect peace this morning. We praise you for every good thing that you continually give us. God, how delighted we are that your gifts are a perfect match for our need. Our relationship with you, oh God, assures us of life and your favor. We are so thankful, so appreciative, and so grateful for our Dynamo Dream Team in the persons of Miss Dyer, Dr. Bythewood, Mr. Rogers, our second generation of educators, Ms. Anderson, Ms. Brantley, Ms. Perry, Mr. Sims, Pastor Washington, our radio host, Bishop Rolliston. God, we lift up every member of this great, largest economic empowerment movement known to mankind, this great BYOB. God, the members, the present members, and the future members. So we decree and declare that the most wonderful Christmas gift that we can give to the world over is exposure to this great movement. Oh God, we thank you so much, God, that the next million households shall be exposed. God, we thank you for increase, and we thank you, God, for multiplication. In Jesus' name, we thank you for everything, God, and you doeth all things well. And we just give you praise, God. We could go on and on, but our time says we must stop. In Jesus' name, we praise you. Amen, and thank God. God bless you. This officially ends this prophet call. We're going our way, prospering. We're going our way in abundance. And we will see you this evening at 9 p.m. God bless you. Amen.